Good morning. I'm Karen Dorados with Social U, and it is time for What's Up Wednesday. It's our last What's Up Wednesday of 2024. We're going to talk about trends and predictions for 2025, and then our first week in January, we're going to start talking about plans, getting your stuff together for the new year, making sure that your marketing plan is where it needs to be. So today, let's talk about trends and predictions as they specifically relate to social media. There's several things happening right now that are newsworthy. And let's just kind of go ahead and jump in. First, I'd like to talk about what's trending, and then I want to talk about predictions. And there's a couple of predictions that other experts are saying are imminent that I don't necessarily agree with. So let's discuss. Okay, trends. We are in the era of decentralizing mega influencers. So your mega influencer, your Kardashian, your actor, your people who make $1 million for a single post is going away. Consumers really, truly relate more to smaller influencers who are more everyman, smaller creators who really prioritize their communities. These creators aren't just about posting content, but they're also sparking conversations within their own community. So it really makes for a more vibrant, more engaged community, which is better for a smaller business to pay for. If you're going to pay for advertising, I'd rather pay for advertising with someone who's local, who you know, who's going to get the biggest bang for the buck. So it makes sense to me to move away from mega influencers. I totally agree with this. So whether you're partnering with a creator or trying to build your own community, you need to prioritize your engagement over your reach, because engagement is what it comes down to. That's where your conversion comes from. That's where your new customers come from. It's engagement. It's all based on engagement. So look for genuine content, genuine discussion, or create your own. Seriously, a lot less of the mega influencers coming up in 2025. The public forum is back. People want environments where they can interact openly with other creators and each other. They want to see there's actually been a rise in more niche communities like Patreon, Discord, Reddit, Substack. There's more people going there so that they can not only talk to the poster, they can talk to the other people involved in the community. Big social media platforms are starting to take notice, and I think you're going to get more community features based around that coming up in the upcoming year, like Instagram broadcast channels, community building approach that really you're going to need to start looking more into your community building plan. Again, because you're going to want to focus more. And that was a trend for this year, and it was absolutely spot on. Communities. It's all about your community and your available resource. And it could be as simple as trying to engage more in polls or launching a presence on a Discord server. The important thing is to, wherever you're going to do it. Start now and start building that community and that strategy so that you're prepared long-term for 2025. The rise of consumer events, brand trips are getting a rebrand. Gone are the days of the VIP only brand events. Smart brands are now inviting their actual customers to experiences. So you're seeing a much better way to engage your clients versus their VIPs. That it's hold on, I just totally shut down. They're more about engaging people who use their stuff and less about VIPs who appear to use their stuff. So when you are engaging with your audience, that you are going to get a better interaction with people who actually use the product. Let's see, hold on one second. Okay. So you're going to, again, it comes back down to community transparency, people who are more engaged with you and less people who appear to be engaged with you. So again, much more transparency. Wow. Okay. Next thing, let's move on to the next thing because apparently that's making my brain hurt. Um, okay. Brands are going more unscripted. Again, it comes back down to transparency and community. Think like less corporate messaging and more like reality TV because they want more engagement. They want more real honest use of product and real honest engagement. So this approach can actually turn some everyday moments into video that really gets your users hooked. Consider now more than ever how you can bring more storytelling into your strategy. And this could mean highlighting different people on your team personalities, sharing customer journeys, or even creating episodes based around a concept or a person. Really, again, it comes down to which community works for you and fostering that community. Okay. Your odds of going viral online are not necessarily awesome. Now, yes, there are videos that go viral. Yes, there are businesses who go viral. That's not out of the question, but you can't fall back and pray that you're going to have that one viral video that's going to get you all the users that you need. You are ideally, instead of trying to do content that you think is going to go viral, because honestly, it's impossible to tell. You don't know. I mean, we can't predict it either. And we've had customers ask us that, what I want this to go viral. That's not how that works. Different things go viral for different reasons. So instead of trying to hit that viral button, it's better to make more sustainable content and tap into your larger, your larger client base instead of really relying on something that's fleeting. Now, is it okay to use trends? Absolutely. Is it okay to use trending sound, trending voiceover? It sure is. But like a good example of this would be Nutter Butter. While a lot of if you're not familiar, Nutter Butter launched an advertising campaign on TikTok that is completely unhinged. However, it appeals to their base demographic. The younger audience they are trying to appeal to, it's working. Now, I am an older audience. It doesn't work for me, but I'm not their target market either. If I'm, at this age, I'm either going to eat Nutter Butter or I'm not. But it's not what you would expect from a cookie for sure. It is very unique and it's making all of their content super engaging because instead of focusing on going viral, they're focusing on their community and what their community will actually respond to, which builds a much more loyal following and gets you much better engagement. You don't want to waste your energy chasing every single trend that's happening. You want longer lasting, higher performing content all around. Okay. One of the trends for this year is to have social pros niche down. And I don't know that I'm not seeing this yet. What I'm actually seeing is your poor social media manager seems to be a catch-all. They expect, a lot of larger companies expect your social media manager to be able to not only come up with your marketing strategy, but to create your content, create your graphics, create your captions, write your blog, do your press releases, edit your HTML on your website. That's not the case. You're not, that's a special unicorn that can do all that stuff right there. Now, do we have people on our team who can do that? Yeah, but we've been cross-training them for years. It's not normal to have somebody who can do be all things to all people. I'm not 100%. I'm not. I'm not going to be the one to go in and edit your website. That's not what we do, but there are companies who expect you to do that. So based on some of the trends, the experts are expecting social roles to get more specialized so that you have your TikTok guru that you go to for TikTok, and you have your writing person that does your content, your outgoing content, or you have your person that just does your Instagram, whatever the case may be. It's niching down. Now, I think that's a little bit more difficult to do when you're a small business, because small business owners wear a lot of hats, and it also makes it more difficult for them to have one platform. Now, again, let me just kind of go back to Nutter Butter. Nutter Butter is having tremendous success on TikTok because that's where their audience is. But there's a lot of small businesses that have multiple platforms who need multiple platforms engagement, and that is not necessarily a specialty. And you're having, more and more social media managers who are only familiar with Facebook or Instagram or who only do Google ads. And again, it just depends on the size of the company and the experience of the social media manager. That would be great to start creating your unicorn today so you can have what you want tomorrow. But a specialized team that's going to excel in their lane, that's amazing. And of course, we do have that to some extent. Each one of our team members has their own specialty, but they also cross-train each other, which is why you can get a lot of what we have under the same umbrella. But yeah, look for more niche and less umbrella next year, 2025. Okay, more employee generated content. A good example, Chick-fil-A and Waffle House has some recent moments where employees show the potentials and the pitfalls of employee advocacy. For a while, at the very beginning, when short form video was really coming out on its own, there were several Walmart workers who stood out and they were getting a ton of engagement. And instead of embracing that, Walmart shut it down. Not smart. It just wasn't a smart move. So when you have an employee that knows how to do, and I'll be the first person to tell you, my team is better at graphic design than I am. It makes much more sense for them to do our Canva training than it would be for me to do the Canva training. So you have to look at, as a small business, you have to look at and kind of see who has what specialty and then let them talk about it. When they have a deeper product knowledge or a deeper experience than you do, embrace that and step into it so that your end user's getting the biggest bang for your buck. And there are viral videos from different employees. There's viral videos from consumers, but you want to make sure that you're using it in the best way possible. So one of the best things you can do as a business owner is go ahead and set parameters so that if you do have an employee that blows up, has a viral video, you're managing that. You don't want it to be on their page. You want it to be on your page. So embrace your employee generated content. TikTok ban is looking like it is actually going to happen. There are still a few aces up the sleeve. So we're still waiting to hear, finality, but no president in office or coming into office can save it because of the way that it was set up. So we're about to see. So I would tell you, prepare for the worst case scenario, save those videos now, download now what you want to keep so that if there is any kind of disruption, it doesn't disrupt your flow of your posting because it'll make it easier for you to adapt if you have another platform, another channel, and you're keeping those short form videos. You're also going to see, I think we're going to get into a war between Blue Sky versus Threads as they kind of duke it out for X, which, wow, the owner of X is so upset that nobody's calling it X. People still call it Twitter. I'm always going to call it Twitter. I think that's crazy. And they continue to lose users, subscribers, dollars. They're losing dollars very consistently, and Blue Sky and Threads are growing. I'm not a huge fan of Threads. We are going to do some more research on that so I can give you better understanding, coming up. But Twitter is suffering for sure. Okay, so let's talk about, those are the trends. This is what's trending right now. This is what experts can put their hands on right now that they're telling you this is happening. I do want to talk about some of the predictions. Instagram is supposed to make a comeback this year. I get the feeling that that's Zuckerberg in his, office writing, prediction. Instagram's coming back. Is it? They've made the algorithm so difficult to master that it's become problematic. So, I mean, some of the statistics we're seeing on Instagram are 0.5%, which is just ridiculous. So Instagram has been ranked the priority platform for 2025 at like 44%, but your sleeper platform that's coming up on its heels is LinkedIn. And I'm here to tell you, LinkedIn is amazing. We've been using LinkedIn for years and years, and it is super effective if you follow the formula. So my money's on LinkedIn versus Instagram 100%. Trust in influencers is growing. And when I say influencer, I don't mean mega influencer. I mean your micro and your nano influencer. People who have 10,000, 25,000, 100,000 followers, which is still considered kind of small, compared to a Kardashian that has 10 million. People who have grown up in the age of the influencer are much more likely to trust influencers because it's what they see all the time. 10 years ago, if you told your parents, hey, I'm going to be an influencer for a career, 10 years ago didn't even understand what I did for a job. So the whole concept of influencer was so completely foreign to them, and it's not foreign anymore. 30% more of your millennials and your Gen Z are trusting more in influencer information because that's what they grew up on. And it's going to have a huge impact on marketing. So if you haven't created that strategy to tap into your micro or your nano influencer, now's the time to do that research. Let's, get it moving. Video is going to get longer. Yes. Excuse me, bigger. When I say bigger, I mean, you only thought you had to produce video this year. You're going to really have to produce it coming up in 2025. Short form video won by a landslide. For they did a poll for survey for marketers asking about which form of content they're going to focus on in 2025, and 60-second or less video won by a landslide, like 50%. And then the second thing that they're talking about is longer form video. So really and truly, it's a lot of video, and carousels, which also can incorporate video. So if you haven't embraced video for your marketing plan, you can't get away from it this year. Serious social humor is still going to be huge. It's, a well-placed meme can make you or break you. Now, using memes as a marketing tool can be super complicated because some respondents they don't respond well. But humor is much more likely to be shared. So you're going to see more of that coming up in marketing for not only small businesses, but big businesses too. You're going to get more AI and human interaction. But something I found super interesting, consumers who were questioned, 74% agree they are completely comfortable with brands using AI to deliver customer service, but they are not okay with brands using AI to generate content. So for all those people who feel like your job is in danger as a marketing person, or your job is in danger as a social media manager, you have to have that personal touch. Consumers still want authentic content, and AI just doesn't do that. Plus, it's getting easier to tell what's AI versus what's real, and people want real. They want genuine. They want transparent. So it's okay to use AI to man your chat bot to kind of figure out which direction people are going. But when, the rubber meets the road, they want a real person. And they're more and more, again, I think this has to do with the younger generation who is much more tuned into social and their community. Social first. People expect brands to actively participate and give back to their community, not only online, but in person. So you need to be listening and learning from your audience. If you're not engaged in giving back to your community, it's time. You need to incorporate that into your strategy. As a small business, we participate locally with several nonprofits. That's how we give back. There are so many vendors. We Rate Dogs is one of my favorites. They have merchandise that says, tell your dog I said hi. A huge percentage of their proceeds go to fund shelter dogs who need medical attention to make them more adoptable. That's what I'm talking about. People are much more tuned into the social impact in the social aspect of your company, your brand. How are you giving back? It's not all about the more and more CEOs who are billionaires. It's so disconnected. So they want CEOs and they want C-suite to be connected not only to their team, but their community. So you're going to see a lot more of that. Just a few random tips kind of moving forward. Build your community. It could be your Facebook group. It can be your membership program. We have a membership program. That's where our community is, but you're going to have to build your community this year. You want to explore different storytelling approaches to figure out what works. From it might be behind the scenes. It might be just a series of, and just something easy. I can, like, customer horror stories make a great series. People really relate to that because people who've worked in retail, they get it. You want to encourage your employee voices, enable your team to safely share their information, their expertise, their experiences. A lot of your outstanding comment is going to come from your team. You also want to pick the correct social team. You want to make sure that you are on the right platform with the right message, talking to the right audience so you make the biggest impact. If that's something you need help with, let us know. The audit is definitely something we can provide. And you have to think long term. If you want your business to be around in 2 years, I mean, Gary Vee said years ago, what's the ROI? Because I mean, 5 years ago, people are like, what's the ROI of social media? He said repeatedly, it's means your business will be around in 5 years. And think about that. Think about how many businesses have come and gone. Think long term. You need to prioritize content strategies that you can maintain not only daily, but long term so you can continue to grow your business. So that's it for me this week. We will be back. We're closed next week for Christmas for the entire week. We'll be back the first week of January. We'll hit the ground running with planning and strategy so that you are getting what you need to move forward into 2025. And until then, if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out until next week. Until the new year. Let me say that. I'm Karen Taradas, and I'm here to help. Thanks.